What is up, party people? All right, so nice little fun one. Decided we'll just do open panel and everything and see where it goes. If you would like to join the panel, let me go ahead and put the link out there for you guys. I gotta find it first because I am using a different. Let me see. I gotta go to the watch page. Yeah, so I decided to use the YouTube new stream dashboard they use. Just check it out, see what it's like. So I gotta go back. So give me 1 second so I can get to the description. Turn that off. All right, here you go. This will be the link if you want to join the panel or just listen in or just join the text chat in the server. There we go. And I get back to where I was so I can see everything. There we go. Perfect. So, no big rants, nothing really too big. I did want to show something before I actually go on. I'm not really sure if everyone is in the YouTube area or not. I'm gonna go ahead and share my page. I wanted to show you guys something that I had come across. Yes, it does have something to do with the climate change stuff. So if you guys hate that, oh well. But this is definitely something that I need to show. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys know what the WikiLeaks is. I know a lot of people don't like it, but I like it because it does give you a good idea of where they're coming from in these documents. Now, I had talked about it before, and it was one of the things that kind of opened my eyes to the situation with the climate change and how I feel about it being kind of like a money scam thing. Well, I had talked about this before, and what we're looking at is a document that was supposed to be, I guess originally it was secret and it's declassified, but or it hasn't been declassified. It was part of the WikiLeaks, but it's basically a conversation or a meeting between the Saudi Arabian government and it's called the UNFCCC. Let me see if I can find that. There, where is it? I don't know where the euphemism or the context of what that is for the name of it, but like I was saying, this is basically a conversation where when I was talking to you guys about the climate, the geoengineering insurance, and the aspect of if your neighbor doesn't use it or doesn't want it, then you got to pay for it yourself. Blah blah blah. This was a meeting that they had with the United States government, Saudi Arabian government, and the UNFCCC. It's like another climate agency that tried to figure out how to manage what's going on worldwide. And basically, one of the big issues that I came across in this document, and I'm going to go through it. I have an upload that I've already done about just this document, so that'll be coming up after the live stream, or I may show it at the end. But it's basically a conversation where Saudi Arabia wants nothing to do with getting rid of fossil fuels, getting rid of the aspects of their money making, basically, and them saying that they won't sign on to any agreements unless it is adjusted to make it so that they don't ever have to worry about just being shut off from fossil fuels or have to implement something that they don't want to. It's basically, I'm trying to find the actual part that will show you guys exactly what I mean. Yeah, where is it? Okay, so here's one part of it. So I'll just read this one piece and then it'll be the gist of it and then upload after the stream. It says the adverse impact and the emissions reducing policies may have on the kingdom. Al Sharad said the SAG had closely studied climate change policies, potential negative impacts. The kingdom will need time to diversify its economy away from the petroleum, he said. Nothing that the U.S. committed to help Saudi Arabia with in its economic diversification efforts would take the pressure off climate change negotiations. Basically, what they just said is any negotiations that they have or any money that they would have to put forth will be negotiated rather than implemented to make sure that Saudi Arabia stays basically okay with their money plans. It says, Al-Sharib said in the development of renewable energy efficiency technology was key to addressing Saudi Arabia's domestic energy demand. And he acknowledged the need for the increased energy efficiency awareness. Development of the CCS technology, he said, was critical for Saudi Arabia. He said the U.S. administrator's rhetoric to end independence on foreign oil, reiterated by reacted by President Obama, is Copenhagen is antinomical blah 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 blah, causing general fear in Saudi Arabia. The SGA is concerned about the outlook for the oil demand and the global production. And fears will not be able to diversify in any time to reach its development goals. Okay, I'll spare you guys the rest of that. Yeah, like I said, it's one of those things that kind of just another thing that opens my eyes up to how I feel on the whole climate change issue. We're going to do tomorrow, I'm going to do a live stream that's just climate change and geoengineering, basically to extend on what the upload will be showing later on today. But with that said, like I said, if you guys want to join the server, the link is out there. Just make sure everyone has. All right, you're good to go, Moyak. You are no longer muted. And only Sheeple, I see you. Let me go ahead and get you guys going over here. And I think that's it for now. Okay, perfect. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get myself unmuted from the Discord so they can hear me and you guys can hear them as well. And we'll go from there.
This morning it was like about CPU, memory.
What's up, guys? Oh, hang on. I got to make my voice chat work. There we go. What's up, guys?
Hello.
And Queen Hannah, how you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Today is actually a good day.
Better than yesterday.
The sun's out today.
Let me see. Oh, hang on. I just saw your thing in the. I'll put it this way. I hope Jose don't mind.
We got him in.
Okay, cool, awesome. All right, perfect. So, how you guys doing today?
Very good.
Trying to get it.
I beat my court case.
Yeah, hey, Crash. I just got your guys' message. You guys all right now?
Yeah, we got home. Thanks. I
cool.
beat my court case, but I was running late. I left my damn wallet.
If it's not one thing, it's another with you, Crash.
Get a chain, bro.
Oh, and before we start, Digital, would you like to let us know what the weather and fire conditions are in Australia?
Okay, we're still on fire, but we're expecting rain across Western Australia and the southern part of South Australia today, which is a bloody godsend.
Yeah.
I don't believe.
Here.
Problem solved. No more rain.
And I can't take a chain in the courthouse, Davros. I have one on my wallet.
No, I don't suppose you can think about it.
You just got to get a plastic one, Crash. Got to think.
Do you know, Australia would solve all their problems if they just shipped me over there with my car and I'd have just washed it. Because that's guaranteed to make it fucking rain. Washing my car every time.
Yeah, that's like what do you call it? A human paradox. If you wash your car, somehow it always rains. Even if you live in Death Valley.
I actually used to have quite a few friends who are avid bikers. Would at certain weekends in the summer would phone me up and say, "You're not washing your car this weekend, are you? Why?" "Well, we're going out for a bit of a cruise." "Oh, okay, I won't bother then."
I don't know. See, I don't know how people do that. Have like one bike or have like no car, just a bike.
I don't know. I'm a fair weather biker.
I'm telling you right now, if I had a bike, I wouldn't go out unless it was at least 75 degrees. No clouds. Ever. Like, I wouldn't go further than 50 miles.
I can't go much further than 50 miles. It gets too uncomfortable.
I live out up in the mountains. People just they'll go for just a cruise here, because it's beautiful. And they go for bike runs quite often, which is nice. They go for like 100 miles and they stop at like a couple of bars along the way and stuff.
Yeah.
See, I'd like to do something like that. It's just you get too far away and it starts raining. Then what? You sit under a bridge?
Well, I've set up bridges in rainstorms.
And they will go out even when, like, if they have, because usually these are arranged like a couple of months in advance. And even when it's crappy weather, they'll go out because I guess because it's been so arranged that they just wind up doing it anyway.
Yeah.
Riding in the rain is not that bad if you're experienced doing it.
Well, I'm sure it's all not.
You just gotta have the right gear, the right chaps, the right bike setup. It's no worse than riding a car. There are pictures of me. I have to dig them up off my Facebook of me riding in an ice storm, and I came home with ice hanging out of my beard and everything.
Yeah, not nice.
See, doesn't sound fun at all. Matter of fact, I was about to ask, is there any technology that's being implemented with these bikes as the years go on, like for weather like that?
Oh yeah, I've got heated under jacket, heated pants, heated socks, and heated glove liner.
No, I didn't mean that wussy stuff.
You mean like the tires and stuff?
Yeah,
like
like
that?
tire suspension technology for being in the rain and shit.
Oh, any Harley newer than 01 has ABS and all that fun shit on it.
Okay,
That's quite common now. ABS. The modern sports bikes have now got electronically controlled suspension and all sorts of things, but most of that is designed with you going faster in mind.
Yeah, the new EBR before they got taken out of business again, it had wet weather mode on it where it would not allow the back tire to spin regardless of what you did with the.
Oh, like traction control.
Yeah.
What about, okay, is there a tire you can buy that's like the shit? Like it's probably expensive as shit, but it doesn't slip? Or is that just not?
Well, you just get a softer compound tire. They grip more, they heat up quicker.
The biggest thing with a bike isn't so much what tires on it; it's the operating temperature for that tire, which is far more important than it is on your car.
Oh, okay, so getting the traction down, basically.
Yeah.
Mic check.
You're good.
Yeah, we got you.
How you doing? I think it's the first time you've been on my panel before.
No, never been on you.
Yeah, you have a long time ago. I think it was in I was using my meetups or something. But welcome to the server.
Oh, thank you.
Let me see.
I have a Le Mans 10-speed. It's a pretty nice bike. Titanium, weighs 17 pounds. I need the light bike because I'm really fat.
Your bike weighs about what my motorcycle's transmission does.
Damn. Well, that's the other thing with Harleys. Harleys are just big. They're heavy.
It has its advantages in bad weather, though. Like, if I'm going to go, I have a sport bike in the garage, but if the weather's going to be bad, I'll be on my Harley long before I am the crotch rocket.
I had a Virago. I think it was a 96 Virago. I rode that for a couple of years.
In Crash, you were going to say
That was
something.
a nice bike.
I don't like Harleys. I'd rather have a crotch rocket.
Oh, not Harleys.
You can have a crossover like a Magna, which is a hog's frame with the heart of a lion.
Doesn't Harley make a Euro bike too?
They used to make the Buell, which is a badass bike, and I own 2 of them.
How many bikes do you have, Crash?
Too damn many.
How many do I have, or how many?
That was great. Are you talking to retards?
How many do I have, or how many run?
Well, I think the ones that were run would be the most important part.
I have a 2008 Buell Ulysses XB12X that runs and rides. I have a 2012 Sportster 883. I have an 83 Evo FLT. Harley Davidson bag wagon with a sharp nose fairing. I've got a 06 Hayabusa slammed and stretched with a turbo. Those are all my running bikes.
How many bikes do you have that don't run?
I have titles to 25.
I'm so sorry, Nicole.
That's a disease, man.
It's like,
see, like some people go to, see these dogs just laying in people's yards or random animals and bring them home. if I see motorcycles leaning against barns, then I kind of want to bring them home and give them a better life.
I know exactly what
The
that's
bike
like.
hoarder.
I like the same thing about like tractors and old bulldozers and stuff.
I'm like that with women.
Jesus Christ.
What?
You know, one leaning up
You
against the
collect
barn.
women? That's kind of sick. You keep them in your basement?
Wait, finish what you're going to say, because I think what you're going to say is even worse.
You find the old one leaning up against the barn, you give it a good home.
My God. Why do I subject myself to that?
The best
There we are,
part
that's
is
mine.
It's not even so much surprising anymore.
Sean, I hate you.
See, that's
I'm
the kind of
married.
bike I want. If I got a bike, I'd get something like that. Maybe. Only because
That's
I
useful.
like off-roading rather than being on the road. You don't have good tires, though. You have such
Yeah, but I don't take that off road. That's got road tyres on it.
But it's a
It's
dirt
too
bike.
heavy to take off road. But it's fun, particularly around here on all the back roads.
Okay. Do you jump? Does anyone jump these things?
Oh, my
I used
mule's
to.
been off the ground.
Because that stuff, okay, put it this way. Let me make this clear. I hate dirt bikes. I hate dirt bikes with a fucking passion. It doesn't seem logical. I've done well over 20 years of off-roading, and I've ridden everything, but I've only ridden a bike once in the desert for the reason of it's stupid. It's not like, it doesn't make sense. It's dangerous. Everything's out to kill you on a bike, and that's even on a road. That's what stops me.
And rails are better for the desert.
Oh yeah. Well, I've always had a quad.
Off road,
I
the
love
dirt
quads.
is softer.
But I've had dune buggies. Dune buggies are definitely fun. The problem with a dune buggy is you got to work on it every time you go out.
It's the same as owning a Harley, Sean.
Well, that's the thing. I don't want to die on two wheels. And
Well,
you
see,
even
I
said
have-
it yourself, Crash. You said it yourself. If it hasn't happened,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
If you haven't been down, you will go down. I've been down plenty of times, but it's like I forgot my one bike. I have my shovelhead chopper too, but that thing either wants to run or it doesn't after you've kick-started it for hours. And
Yeah, I got a friend of mine who has a souped up Harley, and he has the compression set so fucking high, like he's broken his fucking ankle twice kickstarting it. That seems dumb to me.
fairly common injury.
Yeah, you should drink more milk.
No, he should
That'll
kickstart
do
less and
it.
fucking stop making his bike so damn dangerous.
My old Ironhead, if you didn't
Sean,
have
just
the
get a
timing
moped. You'll be okay.
My old
just get a
Ironhead, if you
push
didn't
start.
have the timing set just right, would break the bones in your foot. I've had them all broken at one point.
Yeah, that's
Put
ridiculous.
a start button on the damn thing.
That sounds kind of crazy.
Get in a fucking car.
Had a start button on mine.
Well, it's you push the compression releases in, and if you're drunk and forget to push them in, then it will kick back and it'll throw you over the handlebars and break the bones in your foot.
Yeah, see, I don't have a bike story, and that's how I'm gonna keep it. I've been talking about getting a bike for like 15 years now. I've
Got a few
ridden.
scars from motorcycles.
I've ridden.
Just come to Australia, Sean. Just
See how-
come here. Right.
Why? What's in Australia? And wait, I do
Bears?
plan.
Your friends, friends from the other side of the planet. I mean, but hello.
I'm gonna go. I'm definitely going to kick it with Rig. He does drifting, and that shit. I used to do drifting. That shit's fun.
Note the protective wear. I do have the helmet, but note the rest of the protective wear I have.
Oh, see, that's the other thing. If
Fun.
I had gotten a bike and I was doing like road trips and riding all the time, I look retarded because I live in San Diego. It gets about 80, 90 degrees during the summertime, and I would be in full gear, like leather with the knee pads, elbow pads, the chest, the neck protector, and then I'd be doing like 10 miles an hour.
I have an armored leather jacket for
That's
the
right.
summer.
Yay.
Yeah, that's me.
Yay.
And here's the thing. And then when we all meet up, we're all going to take all our gear off and show each other our road rashes, and I won't have any.
I had took my son out for a ride on my Virago, and we went to the Outer Banks, had a good day in the sun, and we're riding back about 50 miles back home. And he's about, I guess he's about 8. And all of a sudden, you just feel his arms go slack.
Yes.
He's falling asleep.
Yep. That's the one thing that
So I
stopped me
figured,
from
okay,
getting a bike.
I woke him up and like I pull off, get him walk around to the gas station. I hop back on the bike, start heading out. And I figured, okay, what'll keep him awake if I go 90? Then you feel his arms go slack. And this thing had no pipes, man. I mean, it was loud.
I've had old ladies fall asleep on the back of the chopper. That's fun.
Okay, you guys think. Okay, so my son is the reason for all my unhappiness in this world. Listen, so my son passes out in every car ride. I don't care if we're going to fucking McDonald's down the street. He's gonna take a little nap. It doesn't matter. So I've never gotten a bike, always being scared that he would fall asleep while on the back because yeah.
You get a bag rider.
I'm gonna try to find it while I talk about it. So my son,
Nicole could fall asleep on the back of the bagger, and I wouldn't never know it because she's got that big ass queen seat with this armrest and cup holders on both sides and all that.
That's cheating. Where is it? Let me find this. Okay, so
then she flops over and changes the center of gravity on the bike.
Yeah.
Whoa, what the hell?
So my son, I'm trying to find my Facebook stuff. Okay, so you guys have all been to
Monster
Truck.
riders who lean the wrong way around corners. That's what throws me off.
Oh, my wife used to fight me. I'd go into a turn. I'm like, no, don't do what you're doing.
Trying to find it. Okay, so you guys have been to like the monster truck rallies and stuff before, right? Obviously.
I live right by Gravedigger.
Okay, perfect. So like at the very end, like at the end of every event that they have, they go ape shit and they all just start flying around the arena and revving their engines and fireworks, the whole nine.
Yeah.
Yeah. My son fell asleep during that and
Jesus.
stayed
God.
asleep. I'm trying to
So
find the
loud.
video. Oh, if we can, man, he can fall asleep through anything. Like
I think snowmobiles would
I've
be more
live
my
streamed
speed now.
so many times.
They are
got
fun.
like triggered and shit, and he stays asleep. He's not waking up for nothing.
I fell asleep through an open air rock concert once because it was so boring.
Damn.
I can't for the life of me remember who was playing. We was waiting. It was an old Ozfest out here in the Milton Keynes Bowl, and we was waiting for Ozzy to come on stage. And I don't know who was on beforehand, but I fell asleep and actually got I fell asleep and got a tan with sunglasses on.
I do monster truck, but I don't know nothing about monster truck events.
Snowmobiles must be really cool. Like when you're riding along and you find that barbed wire fence that's just under the snow. It hooks your skis.
Yeah, stuff like that is why I don't want to be in a snowmobile.
It's when you crash a dirt bike and you actually get thrown over the front and you hit the ground first, and then there's that split second when you think the bike's behind me somewhere and it's about to slap you in the back of the head.
Well, that same day as that jump I have in the image above.
Yep.
I was going for height and I was just trying to get it. I'm trying to get up around 8 feet. I just keep on trying. I finally get it up, and my takeoff was bad, and I never knew how to true up in the air. So I ejected from the bike.
Yeah.
And I flapped my arms, thought I was going to land on my feet, and I landed right on my ass at 25 mile an hour. Came a dead stop. I shattered my spine and wiggled my toes. Watched the bike go do cartwheels.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds very familiar. Painfully familiar.
Oh, no. The most fun is when you lay one down at the drag strip because you broke a rear wheel and you just watch it. You don't have time to think about what happened. You hit the ground, you're sliding, and you watch your bike keep sliding down the track and disintegrate.
That's why they call you Crash?
No, I earned my name because I used to run demolition derbies professionally for a living.
No, he
That's
has
how he is.
narcolepsy.
The drag strip wreck was our lesson on learning that you never polish a drag race rim.
All of my demolition derby was done on the highway.
Good place.
It's way more fun when you just put a crash bar in the car and you go out to the fairgrounds and you go out there to make money and you don't care about hurting people because you're not going to go to jail.
Yeah.
So it's like a real life Grand Theft Auto.
That's why I started fighting.
demolition derbies are more like the Mad Max Thunderdome. It's all the cars enter. The last running car wins all the money.
I would just park. Fucking
Park, park on the side.
You have to make
Awesome.
contact with another vehicle every minute and a half.
I just team up with somebody. Just bump me a little bit. I'll bump you.
Like the last time I went to a derby, I ran minivans, I ran compact, I ran full size stock, and I ran full size outlaw all on the same weekend.
They should have
Wouldn't like Lincoln Continentals have like the best crash zone on the rear end? That giant trunk on the.
Yeah, you cheat with them. You take them to a small derby that doesn't pay much, so it was entered in a derby, and then you could do all kinds of fun shit that are considered necessary repairs as far as the rule book's concerned.
But you're supposed to run them stock, maybe other than roll cage and.
Sure, but if
I
it's
just
been at
love
another
armored truck.
derby, if it's been at another derby, and I've can prove it was, then I can do stuff like tuck the trunk, so that the back of the car just turns into a giant battering ram instead of bending the bumper down into the ground.
Just take an armored truck in.
It'd be cool when they start doing this with Teslas and their batteries start going up.
You can't run armored trucks, Sean, and you can't run Chrysler Imperials of any.
Tanks.
Pussies.
Oh,
Tanks allowed.
Wouldn't that be cool? Like a couple Abrams tanks.
Hell yeah, an Abram tank. That'd be badass.
Minivans are surprisingly the most fun I've ever had at a demolition derby.
Don't they tip over?
you have to be careful running things over with tanks. You generally have to take the engines out first. Like the fucking tracks up.
Minivans don't flip over in the mud. If you're driving in reverse, it's like driving a giant forklift, and you can just whip the front end all over the place.
That's true. Yeah.
But you got no crumple zone on that engine. One tap to the front, aren't you out?
That's why you try and back into everything.
You've got a very big crumple zone at the back, haven't you?
Yeah, have any of you played Twisted Metal?
Oh man, I remember that game. That was badass.
That was awesome.
I mean, that's the perfect example of how you drive a van around or a bus around a crash scene and not get hurt. You drive freaking backwards.
It was fun, but after the last time I did it and I couldn't get out of bed for the next 3 days, I figured it was time to stop doing derbies.
Yeah, you see, when you're drinking and crashing, it doesn't help, you know.
You're driving backwards and you got your head all craned over. Man, taking that impact that way has got to be nuts.
Oh, it sucks. I had the weekend after my last event, which was 4 or 5 years ago, I woke up and I had harness marks on my chest that were black and purple.
Yeah.
So you had fun then.
So you're like an X-Men.
Hey, Sean, I won $4,500 in less than a day's worth of work.
Yeah, you still look like an X-Men. I keep forgetting. I gotta show my crash memes.
Hey,
What do you do about the gas tanks? You have a fuel cell?
in the derby car? Yeah, you take an old boat tank and you put it where the back seat used to be.
Oh, okay. That way you get engulfed in fire if something goes wrong.
Yeah, it's safe. Like if you look at
It's safe.
go to wecrash.com and look at the vehicle rules for each class, and you can see how sketchy these cars are built.
I would just put like razor blades and shit inside the body paint, so like when they hit it, they end up like damaging their shit even more.
Well, what we used to do was take the shocks apart and cut the welds on the top of them and stuff them full of shop rags so the suspension wouldn't compress. And then we started going to tech, and they had a 300-pound tech inspector that would jump up on your rear bumper, and your car had to compress under his body weight.
It's amazing. There's so many rules to an event that's determined to destroy your shit.
Yeah, your suspension has to work, or you're not allowed to destroy your car. I mean,
It's like,
that's
yeah,
a bit
go ahead.
rough.
He's like, go ahead, put $50,000 into your car, stupid.
Others, the outlaw class guys, I know for a fact some of them guys are running $5,000 to $10,000 engines in those cars.
That's stupid.
They're built specifically to run without antifreeze and not overheat.
Well, you want to know what's cool? The robot ones they have, those Robot Wars. Have you guys seen that shit?
Those are awesome.
That is badass. I watched one once, and this one had like a little spoon looking thing on the end of it, and it went up to the side of one and flipped it, and it flipped like 3 times. I'm like, damn. And then they fucking like show you the different robots and shit, and it's like the one that got flipped was like 300 fucking pounds. I was like, are you out your fucking mind?
Oh, like on BattleBots.
Yeah, those things are
BattleBots
fucking crazy.
Yeah, I thought you were talking like Truckzilla and stuff. I'm like, I don't think they flip those.
No,
I would love that'd be badass too. Or a
basically,
monster truck. Yeah, see,
Basically, a 5-inch grinder on a RC car.
Pretty much.
Yep, I've seen that too. I've seen one with cut off saw blades.
Yeah,
that
I
shit's
remember that one.
fucking crazy. Those things are
I
awesome. I was
actually
watching that the
remember
other night.
the one that had this sling arm with a giant basic ice pick on it, and all it would do, it would drive. It had a little ramp at the front, so the opposite robot would drive up it, and then it would slam it down and pinch it, put a hole through it.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. I'm trying to find one.
I posted a picture of your next truck in the chat, Sean.
Yeah, is that the one? The pickup, the 4-door.
Yeah,
that is badass. I think I saw. I think you shared a pic of that a couple days ago. I thought it was fucking badass.
yeah. I built the chassis on that truck and set the suspension up, and it's got a Duramax under the hood instead of a Power Stroke.
Yeah. I think you should put a Power Stroke. That's just me.
That truck body came out of the back of a cornfield and didn't have any chassis or anything on it. It's just kind of one of the things we built with what we had laying around.
You guys should go like a fiberglass body.
Then we have to replace it every time we go play.
Well, better than having to hammer shit out every time you want to go play.
We don't hammer it out. It just stays on there till it's tore up, and then over the winter you find another body and slap it on the chassis. Like a badge.
Well, see, that's the one thing I hate about what you like to do. All that mudding and shit. I mean, that's a shit ton of washing you got to do.
Right, and the car wash down the road from the off-road park hung a big sign saying we're not allowed there this year.
Yeah, see. If you guys hit the live link, I'm showing some of those robot wars, or whatever you call them.
Oh, you're showing our Robot Wars.
I used to love that program.
Some of those machines were very, very clever. There was one called Hypnodisc, and it was just this huge rotating flywheel that had a couple of metal teeth on it. And if it got up to speed and hit another robot, it would just shred it.
That was its only problem, though, was the amount of time it took to spool that big flywheel.
That's
up.
right, because the flywheel was quite a weight, and once you sort of transferred all that energy into the target, it took quite a few seconds to get going again. But yeah, some of the machines, the flippers, and they've got sort of self-righting mechanisms. So if somebody tips you over, you tip yourself back up, or they work either way up. And there's a series sort of as they did more and more series of Robot Wars, people got cleverer and cleverer, and there were some amazing machines they built. Also, some utter. You just looked at it and thought, well, that's not going to last 2 seconds, And they
But there were some there were some of them designs that were so simple that they're basically a ramp on all 4 sides, and they just work.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. The simpler ones tended to be the more effective. If they got too complex, it's just more things that can get damaged.
Did you guys see that? That's crazy. And those things are huge.
Yeah.
They got to introduce cannons into those.
Not allowed to have
Yeah, one had a flamethrower, right?
Yeah, they can't have ballistics.
No.
Damn, that one's trying to get his ass out of there.
You can use an air cannon though.
I saw another one. You see those big ass things? Yeah, what are those? Those are the refs. They keep it fair.
Oh, that the house robots. Yeah, that big tracked one. What's that? Is it Sir Galahad? Yeah, him. He's about half a ton.
God damn.
Yeah, he's that's Matilda. She's got like a buzzsaw for a tail, but the bigger one, the big tracked one, I think it's Sir Galahad, and I think he weighs just over half a ton. He can just pick these things up. Yeah,
that's what's insane. You don't realize how big these things are when you're watching like this.
but some of those things upward sort of a meter long. When you see them in the pits afterwards, that's when you get a true idea how big some of these are.
Yeah, Sean, you should look at the power systems under the hoods of those things. It's a ridiculous amount of amperage they're running.
Yeah.
Where is this showing? Is this showing on YouTube? Because I don't see it in the stream.
Yeah. Well, I did have it on here. Like, I'll show you again. So next time, where is it? So, like, see how my name just went live? It says live on it.
Yeah.
If you click on that, then you'll be able to see what I was sharing. That way I can share here and on YouTube.
If you click on that, you'll get a join stream option, and then you'll see.
Yeah, you'll be able to see whatever I'm streaming. I'll keep playing it here, but I don't want to. I can't put it on. I'm paranoid about YouTube now, since I got kicked off for talking about time travel.
Hey, remember?
I don't think it was talking about time travel that did it.
Hannah,
No,
the man is holding us down.
It's
it was as clear as censorship as it gets.
We could always discuss the red shirt thing again, but I don't think we're allowed to talk Star Trek on here anymore.
No.
Conspiracy. Oh yeah, we are.
No,
it doesn't like it when we nerd out.
Yeah, it gets weird.
Oh, that's right. Sean's the one that doesn't like that.
Yeah, it's so weird. And I see you guys all trying to creep it out and all the other streams and shit. I'm like, oh, they're going nerd.
Captain Picard would lose so bad to Kirk. It was.
Hey, me and No Name nerded out.
You know what? I'm gonna put it like this: I'd rather fucking talk flat Earth than Star Trek.
Me and No Name nerded out over Transformers the other day.
All right,
so.
Transformers are badass.
Haven't you seen my picture of my collection, Sean?
God.
No, Crash. I don't
He
just
hoards them too.
I don't just wait for Crash photos, especially because 90% of them are of you, and I don't need to stare at you that much.
Oh, come on. He's a pretty.
I lost everything. Okay, I thought I heard you. It's like, where the hell did all my audio go?
We're here.
Oh, and I know that now.
Oh yeah.
What the hell are those? No name.
That's his work stuff. His industrial ones.
That's not fair. It says no writing on it.
But just because it says it.
Okay. Well, that's where it's just where you put your feet so you don't see it.
Yep, I didn't see any sign saying no riding. Yeah, you were standing on it. I was on it.
They only put those signs on for the people that are stupid enough to get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, dumbass ones that fall off.
Oh, bless.
I mean, if you learn your lesson, it's okay. You know, even if you get hurt, you learned your lesson. Well, I'm not going to write that again. It's not like you're going to sue them or anything.
Whoa. How bad of a fall?
Well, wait, if you were riding it, does it really matter at that point?
George hasn't quite got the idea on Robot Wars. You can't use C4.
Damn. Oh, yeah.
Who needs weapons? I'll just plant some C4 on the side and run away.
That's the funny part. You would think if we got robot wars. How come they don't just do that shit in the military? Just robot fucking tanks and shit.
Have
Which
you not seen what they're developing?
Huh?
Have you not seen the robots they're developing? The ones that walk and run, and then you'll have drone tanks and everything. I mean, you've got drone aircraft. How far away are drone tanks?
That's the thing. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't doubt it if they did. In the other part about like the robots that they're developing, I think those are throwbacks. I think we're seeing what they want us to see. Because remember, there is a tactical advantage to not showing everything on all the time.
Well, why did they have Green Lake Air Force Base? The so-called Area 51. Why do you think they had an Air Force Base out in the middle of nowhere where they developed all these secret aircraft? They're not going to. They don't want the opposition to know what they're building.
Yeah.
Until they drop bombs with it,
That's not the only reason. The other reason is they don't want the robots to escape.
Escape.
I was talking to a military guy, and he basically
you going
said
nerd
that.
on me again, Sean?
Yeah, but any robot you build, surely you build in some sort of kill switch.
Yeah, it's called a missile.
Well, any way of remotely disabling. So if it does automatically think, do you know what? I've just become intelligent. I'm having none of this. That you just press a button and.
So that's the easy part because they have that. They have remote. I hate saying remote control because it sounds so remote control-y. But they have that same function switch on commercial airliners. They can control them. They can shut them down. Do all those things with those too.
Oh yes, they can take them. They can take over the controls and fly them and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They can.
There was
they can do that with your car as well. Turn your car
system.
off.
There was a system that they had implemented into I forget what commercial liner it was, but basically the FAA hired, I guess, some CIA intelligence group, whatever. But the goal was, can you hack into the system? And they were able to hack into the system too easy, and they shut down that program, and they wouldn't even let the plane come off the tarmac.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, that stuff is crazy.
But because that is the problem. If you've got something that you can remotely connect to, that doesn't just mean that you can remotely connect to it.
Anybody.
Other people, if they're clever enough, can remotely connect to it. It's.
There, Sean, my nerd is now showing in the chat.
Let me see.
I won't show you all the model tank kits I've got then. I showed them the other night.
My buddy has a metal tank like model kits and shit. He does like a bunch of them, like they're like 2 feet by 8 inches tall.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is it, like not sheet metal, but it's like some type of little metal or something. But that shit's hard, dude. I tried helping him work on it, and it cut my fingers twice, and it was ridiculous. But he loves doing it.
Yeah, they sound like the 1/16 scale. There is a couple of companies that make 1/16 scale, and some of them they are made out of metal.
Yeah,
I do the smaller plastic ones.
It's like the new rage in models now. Those, you know what I'm talking about? Like the little sheet metal kits and shit now.
Yeah, they have them of like everything. You can get them of like Star Wars and everything.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the ones I do. I mean, I can go out and get a 1/35th scale model tank, and that will cost me £30-40. I can then get an upgrade kit for the tracks, where you get every single individual link and you pin them together. You get etched brass parts for like engine grills, anything small and fiddly that you have to cut it out and fold it and glue it all together, but it's made out of etched brass. You can get metal barrels. So yeah, anything that you can increase the detail and make it more realistic. You can buy a £30-40 kit and spend 3 times that on the extra bits if you want, easily, without even trying.
Well, that's just like the competition RC truck. You buy a kit, and then my new truck I'm building to launch my new product line. That was $300 for just the truck, and to get the truck running and competitive, it was $200 for tires, $150 for rims, $200 for motor speed control, $150 for a servo.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I could never buy an RC truck, a ready-to-run RC truck out of a store ever again.
Oh, no, because you're going to gut half of it.
More than half. Yeah, I bought. Crash. You know what I'm talking about. They're like the generic 1/8 scale rock crawlers that they sell like on eBay and shit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I got one of those, and basically only use the arms in the frame, and then customize the shit out of all that, and then everything else went. And then shit, just learning about traction and all that. Oh man, I miss my truck. Oh, that shit was badass. Did I ever show that to you, Crash?
Yeah, you sent it to me on my Discord.
Yeah, okay. That was fun. That's when I realized, oh yeah, you can't buy a RC car out of a Toys R Us ever again. Actually, there are a few. There's one called it's like Rock King. It's like a 1/32 scale, but it's supposed to be like one of the best ones you can like mod up and all that kind of stuff. I was thinking about getting one of those for my son, teaching him how to start doing all that.
I don't know. I like I said, I do the comp thing and stuff all the time, so I've got very fine taste. But I'm also sponsored, so I don't pay for a lot of it.
Well, next month or two, I'm definitely going to be sending you some cash for that.
Yeah, I've got that
skin.
I've got that chrome chassis Blazer still laying around here.
Yeah, well, once I get my return and I figure out this whole Australia thing, I'll definitely do it because I want one so fucking bad. I miss doing it.
I have just found out I have a robotics development company in my street.
On your street?
Yeah, so I live at 195 Hogarth Road.
I'm just saying, I know you just doxed yourself, but
I don't care. I don't care. Come at me, bruh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, when I get to Australia, I'll come by.
Yeah.
But
I'm sending an airstrike right now.
We have the option for the camera to record when we honk. A Model 3 owner just caught a hammer smashing into their windshield. That is about the craziest thing that could happen out there to you, for a hammer to fly into.
Sorry about that.
I was interested. I want to know what happened.
Anyway,
I forgot about that. I was watching this video about this Tesla that's driving down the road, and the hammer, I guess, comes off of a truck or something like that, slams into its windshield.
Damn. Let's see people in the chat. Someone tagged me. I forgot what it said though. Okay.
Yeah, I won't finish what I was saying at all, Sean, though. That's okay.
Yeah, I looked that up, Carl. But when we were talking about the military stuff, have you guys heard about the exosuits they have?
There are several different versions of them. I know the army are looking at them, but they're also using them in certain car factories.
Oh, the kinetic suits.
Yes, to sort of try and
have a bunch
relieve
of
some of the
Ripley's
stress
running
on
around.
people's bodies.
Yeah, it cuts down fatigue. Yeah,
Yep.
that's the
Fatigue lift. The one I was watching, it was like the dude was able to easily lift 300 pounds and in stride jog with it.
Leave her alone, you alien.
Yeah, but wasn't that one
You
connected to the power supply? It had a external power supply.
Yeah. But I think when they were showing it was still in like the development phase where they're still figuring all the kinks and shit out of it. But I do know they have a couple suits that they use now, and they're very small, which I'm trying to find you right now.
Yeah, powerlifting suits. So, because what it was to do was, so you think about a man trying to lift 100 pounds 3 times and move it to a position. When you put this suit on, you can lift all 3 of them at once and not cause any fatigue to the user.
This is one of the exosuits that I've seen them use out in the field.
Yeah.
There's another one that looks all crazy on him, but I don't know. I think it's more of the one you guys were talking about, like the fatigue and all that.
Yeah, it's like the Edge. So if anyone saw Edge of Tomorrow, it's the suits they wear in them that they're trying to develop.
Oh yes.
Or actually, what was that film with Matt Damon where he had to get bits and pieces to get his suit working again?
Elysium.
So yeah, that's the similar suit.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it.
No, I want the one that Ripley had.
Oh, the power lifter.
Get away from
You alien bitch, let go.
The first time I watched that in the cinema, the entire cinema cheered when he came out and said that. It was just like, yeah, Ripley's back.
Trying to find. I found it.
Somebody's actually built one, a working one.
So this is. I don't know what the pictures are. All right, here's one picture. Oh no, what we? Oh, that sucks. This isn't the one I'm trying to show, but it's along the same lines as ones they're using in the UK. I know this. The one I'm trying to show. I'll just share the link so you guys can check it out. With the the green one at the top of the link, you'll see it in a second. This one I know they're using the one that it's showing right there. They're using that one. I know that.
There we go. There's the power loader.
But do you get in it?
A guy is building a replica. Okay, he's already constructed the arms and the legs for this.
Now we just gotta put cannons on these bastards, and we'll have mech wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's also another group that's reconstructing the Johnny 5 robot, and they're almost at complete.
I would buy 10 of those.
They're just working on the AI system for it, and they'll be able to.
There you go, Sean G. You want to take a guess at how much money's in that RC truck?
Hang on,
about
$50.
Yeah, no, 15 cents worth of Coke bottle lids.
Oh damn! No, that's a $500-$600 rig right there.
$795.
Yeah. You guys don't understand the detail in that, and you probably and then we can't.
Don't tell me what I understand.
It's what you believe, Moyak.
Yeah, it's what you believe.
Okay. So, what is air? Honestly,
atmosphere.
What? No. What is air?
Atmosphere.
No. What is air?
A mixture of oxygen, nitrogen, helium, and a bunch of other bullshit.
Jeez, you guys don't know, do you?
Air.
Right,
I put air in my tires, and it could be pure nitrogen.
Yeah, but you
Then you're not putting air in your tires.
Moyak, we went over this. Understand, it's about the 99% rule.
Oh, 99%, yeah. That is really important, 99%.
Yeah.
Do you know you can breathe pure water vapor?
Every
No,
day.
it's water gas. It's water gas, man. Remember, water gas.
Can't be water gas.
But apparently Adam and Eve were also able to invent the Ethernet.
How the fuck? You're going deeper and deeper.
That's a little known fact, but it is true.
Oh my god. Oh wow. I almost forgot. We got to do the digital therapy moment. Okay.
Do what?
Chemotherapy.
Something like that. Something like that.
Need something to fight about. Come on, John.
Oh, I can. That's easy. I just keeping it calm. Well, hang on. I gotta.
Yeah, no, we're doing all right, Sean. My trigger's not pressed yet.
You sure?
Yeah, I've got a coffee.
How many of you drinking?
I'm on number 2.
All right, number 3 is your. When you hit 3 is when we got an issue. So we're gonna move on, and we'll do the digital therapy moment a little bit later on. But I can tell you're starting to get a little bit more militant as we go. No one else has noticed this.
Ratchet up his
all it
anger
takes-
first.
Yeah, all it takes is one bad day and one bad incident for you to get to the level that I'm at.
I'm guessing it'll take a lot more than just a couple bad days.
It only takes one bad day to end up a felon.
No, that's hard to do as well. I mean, I've gone 30 plus years and I haven't got one felony. I'm pretty proud of myself. What the hell is that? Is that Skyfly? Yeah, I thought so.
Who is that?
I don't know who it is, but Skyfly did it, so.
Oh, yeah, but I was trying to figure out. Can't see.
See, that tank looks small as hell. That does not look like a tank I'd want to get in and be comfortable.
Well, that's a Panzer III, so that they were using that at the start of the war. Yes, it's a little cramped inside.
Sean, they're like fighter aircraft. They weren't designed to be comfortable or fun airplanes to fly. They were designed to go up, hunt something, shoot it down, and maybe get back on it.
I mean, I can show you something moving that's just a tad bigger.
Sean, I found this picture the other day and it reminded me of you.
Your inability to grasp science is not a valid argument against it. Okay,
No, not about you, but the way you are heading.
Can you explain the it part?
Against science. The it is science.
Yeah, but what do you have to grasp in science for an argument against it?
Well, the thing is, you need to separate the I and the T.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but when you get that I and T together, if you put an SH at the start of it, you've got everything you're fighting.
I understand now.
See, that was philosophical science there.
Was it?
Oh, of course it was, because it was me.
But was it?
Well, what is it?
Yeah. Was it?
I know. Well, see, you're presupposing you're it.
Was I?
Well, the thing is, if you put a dot in the middle, you've got IT, right? And then you're going to have to get down to the DVR system, and then the thumb drive to go through the TDI. Mind you, the PYS.
Did you just say
is
titty?
actually looking for donations right now.
Did you? I'm sorry. That's what I heard. I just want to make sure. I don't want to presuppose.
No, there was the TDI. It's the thumb drive insertion method.
I've done that once, but I got slapped.
I was going to say the same thing.
All right, let me see here. What's going on in the chat? Nothing.
Well, it seems Farmer's Boy's got a thing about tanks. I think it's a phallic problem.
No, it's not. I just like tanks.
So it is a
I
phallic
want to
problem.
own some tanks.
Tanks are awesome.
Why are you thinking about it as phallic?
Well, because like he keeps putting ones with longer and longer turrets.
Why do you keep noticing that?
Because he's a
Because
farmer's
it's
boy.
sexy.
Oh, hang on. We could do better than that if you want.
Please no.
I do quite like the Tiger tanks. I think they're brilliant.
That one in particular, because that one is the only one in the world that works, and that's the one
is
that was
that
in
Mark
the
IV?
Picture and Fury.
Is that a Mark IV?
No, so that's a Panzer VI. That's a Tiger One. That's
Yeah.
the only running Tiger One in the world.
I have one.
Several museums have Tigers. But that's the only one that actually runs. But they only bring it out to play a couple of times a year because it's, other than the engine, everything on that is 76 years old.
Here you go. This is Digital's tank. Got the nice long turret on it and everything.
That's a Russian tank.
That, I believe, is one of the Joseph Stalin tanks, but I couldn't tell you which one it is.
The T-14.
Oh, the one below that. I'm on about the pink one.
Oh, because I don't even know. I just was reading.
That looks like a modified T-38.
No, the pink one is one of the
Your
one
favorites?
of the IS models of Joseph Stalin's. Bigger than the T-34. They're quite a lump.
Yeah, it's got the big rounded front to it. It's really hard to tell.
Yeah, the photo's too small. I
It's the
can't.
38 series or higher because of the bulbous front turret.
It's like the Russians are completely broke. They can't even build any of these tanks anymore. They used to have 1 billion of them. Now they can't even build them.
I don't know. They're still churning some out.
If you look at the new one that you were showing, they only have like 100 of them or something like that. It's such a limited amount. They only sent like 14 or something for Syria.
Yeah, but they sell quite a few of them. That's what they do with them.
All right, here you guys go.
Well,
we were talking drones. Here you go.
Well, they have the they destroyed the technology to build the T-38, and they can't have it anymore. They destroyed it.
Ah, now that was in the latest Mad Max film with lots of stuff bolted over the top of it.
I'm rare, but I'm not that valuable.
Yeah, but that's the drone version, isn't it?
Yeah, these are all the ones I'm posting right now are all drones. Trying to find some more.
That's a modified APC.
Yeah, I mean, shit, they've had them. Look, I mean, we're over here talking like, what if they had? I mean, they've had these things forever. Isn't this considered a drone tank?
Oh no, that's not an APC. It's too small. It's one of those little sort of octo whatsits. The little
Yeah, no, it's a modified APC. They chopped the top off of it and modified the top so that it holds the rockets on the top.
Androgynous personnel carrier.
Pretty much. That thing is awesome. I want that at my front door.
Trying to find a big wait. That's all.
Yeah, we currently use the Abrams tank as our main battle tank in Australia.
Okay, here's a link to Kozlov reveals plans for a massive 20-ton unmanned drone tank Russian army.
And all you do is block the radio signals, or is it going to be AI?
Shh, we don't say those words here.
The vehicles can be operated either remotely, semi-automatic, as robots. Fully autonomous.
You need that.
They'll set
otherwise you just make a big
schedule of parameters in, and that's it.
I'm showing a video. If you guys hit that live link, I'm showing a video of the Russian droned 20-ton tank.
It probably runs on vodka.
Oh, definitely.
That's vodka.
It runs on Windows 98.
Vista.
Oh god, not Vista. Anything but Vista. It'd be alright if it runs an XP.
Well, Windows 98 actually worked pretty well for me. I liked XP as well.
Oh, I loved XP. I had no problems with that at all.
Yeah, I love hearing how old you people are.
Windows 98 was the last good operating system.
I started off on Windows 3.0, Sonny.
Yeah, I remember Windows 3. Just.
Hey,
And DOS 6.0.
Yeah, I remember running a Honeywell computer with an orange screen.
AutoCAD Release 11 in DOS with a text screen and a graphics screen. because there was no Windows then.
Did Windows 3.1 run on DOS 6.0?
Yep.
I can't remember. It's too long ago. That looks bespoke. That doesn't look like they've copied it from anything else.
I'm not sure you had to have both of them loaded up. I think Windows could run on its own, and you could also run DOS 6.0 on its
Oh,
own.
look, it's got little dinky ones.
I thought Windows had to have DOS to run originally.
Which
Yeah.
still does.
Yeah, it was
It's
just a
running in
GUI.
the background.
Sure.
You just can't see it.
You can't see it. It's there.
That is the operating system behind Windows. It's DOS.
And that's,
Because you can still shell out and see the DOS commands.
you can load video games on just by copying a directory.
Yeah, you can run command prompt and you can run a direct window out of it too.
Ah, look, somebody's found the Goliaths. The Germans had a sense of humour when it comes to naming vehicles. If it's really small, they called it the Goliath. The biggest tank ever built, they called the Mouse. They had a whole range of wire-guided, remotely operated demolition vehicles, and they were pretty much the smallest ones. All you had to do was cut the wires, and they were useless.
Damn, see, they've had drones forever.
Yep, and they also had much bigger versions that actually had a driving position. And what you did was you drove it up sort of near the front, and then you remotely controlled it from a command tank. So you sat in another tank and directed it to whatever you wanted to blow up. They were intended to be demolition vehicles. So if you wanted to blow up a pillbox or something, you drove the tank up to it, dropped off the explosive charge that was the front of the tank, backed it out of the way, and then detonated it.
I see.
Yeah. They've still got. They got a couple in the tank museum over here, and they had a driving compartment, but you didn't drive it all the way up to the target. Even the Germans weren't that stupid. I mean, if it'd been the Japanese, it'd have been a different matter. They'd go, "Yep, that's okay. I'll drive that." But the Germans weren't really keen on sort of suicide missions that much.
That we know of.
Well,
Pussies.
having said that, they had one-man submarines that were basically a torpedo. You took the warhead out, you stuck a guy in the front to pilot it, and you strapped another torpedo underneath it. And the theory was that you'd come up against a ship, and you're basically driving a torpedo that fires another torpedo. But they were shit. They really didn't work very well. And there were a number of cases of when they went to launch the torpedo underneath, it didn't release. So it just powered up and went on its merry way, and you were strapped to the top of it. Damn, yeah, but the Germans were getting desperate. This was sort of the last year and a half of the war.
Kind of like Dr. Strangelove.
A bit like that, yes. You know, they built several of them. Oh, what a film. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Then why would you call it the war room?
No, exactly.
Yeah, I just posted the unstoppable Russian missile.
But serious shout out to Hannah over in the other chat room. I just read her little quote. That's why others spend more time trying to not understand something than they do trying to understand it.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
Brian,
I thought that was very appropriate.
Brian, Adam and Eve are going to create the internet for you, alright?
All they needed was a bit of fiber optic cable and some solder.
What?
Chemo's new nonsense. He seems to think that you can just immediately plug up to some wire, and that will create internet.
Really?
Yeah, just give him some fiber optic cable and some solder. Yeah, tell him to have at it.
Well, be
Yeah, I'd
fair,
like to
Adam
see
and Eve
soldered
could
glass.
do it.
Yeah, go on, solder some glass. I'd like to see you do it.
I mean, I thought I'd spoken to some people who had a very slim grasp on reality, but that really does take the piss.
Oh, jeez, you haven't heard nothing yet.
No, I've spoken to Chemo before, please. I'm still getting over it.
Yeah, Bob, you would have loved it. He asked me why I use tools with what I do. It's like, well, it's because I'm not going to have the pathologist and all of his staff down there counting white blood cells all day long.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
Slick was fun with his explanation of gravity today.
Oh no.
Oh, God.
What were the apples?
What were the apples?
Yes, for some reason only vertical work counted and not horizontal work.
Okay, so I've had that conversation with him, and I stumped him. It was wonderful. Okay, and I listened to that conversation. You guys got to remember, Slick is full of shit in every conversation. So you got to figure out where he's trying to go at it and figure out where to cut him off at the pass. So when he's doing that gravity apple, whatever the crap he's talking, where it's basically potential energy, and then he starts in on that 100% energy shit. Here's the thing. The second you go, okay, at what point is an object at zero? It will confuse his whole conversation. He keeps talking about this 100% of energy, 50% energy. He made an example of a rock rolling down the hill may only use 2% of its energy, but going back up the hill it would take 98%. It's his word salad. And just asking him right off the bat.
No fucking sense.
Exactly. When he starts talking that 100% energy, just ask him where is an object at 0%. Basically, at rest. Because even if you pick a rock, and that will jumble him up, because here's the thing. If you pick up your lighter and you put it in your pocket, at that point, or whatever range or whatever definition he has for zero at rest, that lighter becomes at rest then. So then his whole theory of picking it up is gone.
Well, my question is this. My question's this. If I pick up a rock and I move it to a table, and then I take it from the table and move it to the shelf, and then I push it off the shelf, does it go to the table or does it go to the ground?
Oh, in his mind, it goes to the ground because it's where the energy started from the matters, not where it got interrupted.
Okay, but what if it lands on the table?
Then you better hope that that table can withstand that energy.
Well, that's why you have to force him to explain
How many megatons that is.
how you would know something is at rest at zero energy. That's the important part.
It's good. Well, I've got an idea. I have an idea for these guys. What we need to do is we need to start agreeing with them right up to the point that we don't agree with them anymore. It's the old, let's give them a promotion and then fire them 2 weeks later so it hurts more.
On a Monday.
I like that. Yeah, you didn't make this. You didn't make the full week of. You didn't make the full pay period, so you're going to get unemployment at your old job.
John,
You can't let Slick take you down that energy dark hole it is.
Yeah. So the second he talks about energy,
that's exactly where you take it apart. You say, when is it at zero energy? When is it at 100% energy? You can't answer either of those questions.
Yeah, and if he does, he then defies at rest.
Yep.
Well, that, and you just can't let it get to the what ifs, because there is no what if. There is only real life. Remember?
Yeah, that has been the fun part about just listening. Like, I suggest everyone does it. Stop arguing with him. Just listen. You start figuring out his scheme and his game about it. Because I've had that conversation with him before, and he has claimed it was density. He'll deny it now, but one of the things is for this whole quote unquote potential energy concept, it's literally far fetched because they won't. If you can't define at rest, then nothing is ever at rest. So then, what are you saying? Everything is constantly trying to what? And if that was the case, no matter where a rock starts at, whether I pick it up or put it down, why will the rock fall through the ground if the ground falls out under it?
Because you don't live in La La Land.
Did any of you guys hear 24/7 Flat Earth Discord this morning?
I refuse.
Oh no.
They banned me from that place.
It was utterly epic. It was epic. they brought on this guy, Canadian flat earther or something, who just discovered flat Earth last night, and he was so excited to talk to people. They let him on the thing, and then he said, I discovered this new thing. You ever hear of something called blood over intent? And and there's this mountain in the middle of when Byrd went up to the North Pole, and said that there was a big continent up there that was undiscovered. And, he found this mountain, and there's the four rivers. And, like these guys on 24/7 are going, holy fuck, what did we just put on our show? It was too crazy for them. It was epic.
Is that
What like the journey to the center of the earth kind of thing?
Blood Over Intent's made a huge comeback in Flat Earth. T-Stew is now a huge proponent of it.
Teabag.
I've heard of it. I haven't really looked at it at all, but
That's exactly right, George. George says there is no absolute potential energy. Potential energy is always relative. Correct.
Potentially right.
That's what they tell you.
He's gonna get more food.
Bob, that's what they
Don't tell me
you,
what to do.
Have you ever proven it?
Well, okay. So when his pipe calls, he has to answer.
He just mutes sometimes.
George, I can absolutely agree with that. Let's see, looking at that now.
Yeah, and unless you create stored energy, you can't have potential energy.
This slick knows physics. Come on, guys.
Hannah,
Montreal. It's like speaking Greek to them.
Montreal would actually be very good at Greek. I would not.
Got to get BB in here. Just kidding.
No.
Just kidding.
Is that a threat?
Really wanted to get those guys off on that damn 11 simultaneous vector bullshit of theirs today.
Was it?
Well, there's only one
14?
vector.
I thought it was 14.
It eventually, yes, that's right. You can nothing can be going in two directions at the same damn time unless it's coming apart.
Yep.
Ever see a snake with two heads?
Still can only go one direction.
Come to think of it, I never saw him go in two directions at the same time.
I've never quite understood that whole "it's going so many different directions at once" argument. It's like, no, it's going in one direction. It's a sound vector.
I wanted to get Montreal. I simply wanted to get Montreal and say, tell me this. If there's somebody behind you pushing you from behind and somebody on your right side pushing you from the right side, which direction will you be going?
Whoever pushes
Are
the
you
hardest.
going both left and forward?
What?
I'm betting not.
People are nominating the new DFOTYs for 2020. I still think Renee needs a shot at it one year.
Early contenders are coming at like avalanche amount.
Yeah.
Well, given that he's not going to win, Anthony Riley.
Yeah.
Hey, who won this year? Have they announced it?
I don't think I've done it yet.
16th.
Oh, they've already posted.
I think it's the 6th. They said it's the 6th is when they announced.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense.
They already posted where you can vote.
I don't know. For me, it's JM Truth for sure.
Am I causing an echo on this thing?
No, it's don't burn books.
Don't join.
Yeah, it's the books.
I'm causing an echo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, I didn't mean for him to leave.
Oh no.
That fix it?
Let's have a sound. Theme 6.
Fixed.
That was easy.
Who says we don't know IT?
What, turn it off and turn it on again?
That's right.
Oh,
Have you tried turning it off and on again? Jen?
Oh.
This is the internet. What, that little box? Yes.
Oh, Bob, did you enjoy your reconnection with Travis yesterday?
what? Talking to Travis?
Yeah.
I know. I don't talk to Travis. I was actually spending most of my time talking to Chris Berry.
True enough.
Yeah, Travis isn't really. I don't deal with children. I'm an adult doctor.
Oh, God, there's a pediatrician I'd like to introduce him to. That'd actually be fun.
Or a pediatric psychiatrist, one of the two.
I think I might know one of those that have a fun time with him as well. But
There you go. Oh, Christ, that's Brian. Yeah, you know everybody here in training, right?
Brian's a
good old
frontier
residency.
psychiatrist.
Oh, God, no. I remember psych rotations. I'll never go back. You can't make me.
Oh!
It's a scary, scary place to be.
The scariest thing for me was they seemed normal until they weren't normal, and then they really freaking weren't normal.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's like talking to flat earthers, though.
Well, it's
Actually, Jim
basically the same mentality.
Yeah.
Except the
Jim
flat
actually
earthers,
brought
for the
that up
most part,
yesterday.
aren't medicated. Except the flat earthers generally aren't medicated enough.
You can definitely see where they're the people who have the people who have broken thoughts versus the people who are just thinking the wrong things. It's real easy to see that in the flat earth.
Brian, you'll love the thing I did the other day when I went over on 24/7. I made the argument that the fact the clouds curve over the horizon is demonstration of Earth curve because the clouds are parallel and at the same level above the ground. Well, if they're, basically these are two parallel lines. Well, if the clouds curve, that doesn't prove that the Earth curves. What don't you fucking understand about the term parallel? What is parallel? I mean, the question stunned me. It was so second grade.
Don't worry, I've been having a conversation with Lemon for the past week now. It's 2 weeks now, where he says within a line you can have
recommend
infinite
tequila.
curves. Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
within a
I
straight line you
recommend
can have
tequila.
infinite curves. It's like, well, yeah, but if they're within the bounds of two straight lines, then those infinite curves just mean that those infinite curves don't mean anything. They're still contained, and he
That
can't
just makes
grasp
it
that.
a thick line. It just makes it a thick line.
Exactly.
Yeah, I recommend tequila.
I say after my New Year's Eve, I don't want to see tequila again for a while. We nearly burned down an apartment, and that's a true story.
Oh, it was one of those kind of nights.
Well, it's not a good night unless you wake up in jail. Is my attitude.
I woke up to the stove on fire and somebody yelling for me to come fix it from 3 rooms away.
Okay, yeah.
Wait, why did they call you though? Why didn't they just fix it?
I don't know, there was a guy literally sleeping on an air mattress in front of the stove, and he kept yelling, "No, I don't need any more pot."
Great. In your house?
No, not my house.
Oh.
It's a large.
Brian, you're my kind of guy. Yeah, man, you missed the pot conversation last night. Pot and guns.
Oh man, damn.
Yeah, it was good conversation. I was driving. I couldn't really add in too much. Spotty service.
I kept trying to shut up and have somebody else talk, and they said, "No, you talk more."
I'll tell you this though, knowing my friends, I don't think I'm ever inviting them to my house. I think we're only going to ever do Airbnbs that we're not worried about tearing up.
Yeah, that's a couple of my friends. Yeah, we're never. You're never coming over to my house ever. Bob, I still have to send you an email. I've been on vacation, so I haven't had a chance to send one out to you.
That's not a problem. Don't worry about it. Whenever you get around to it.
Yeah.
You're busy.
Yeah. I'll shoot you a private message in Discord. That way you can just shoot it over to me. Because I'm terrible at remembering things.
All right, not a problem. I'll probably answer it within a week. Yeah, go out and get some AA rechargeable batteries and a charger. I was all fired up to do a video tonight. My damn mic isn't working. The batteries are dead.
Oh, it's a battery powered
decided.
one?
Yeah, it's a Lavelle mic. So the sender unit, which hooks on my belt, and then I, got the mic up on my shirt. That's AA battery powered. The base unit's rechargeable. I don't know why the hell they did rechargeable on one and batteries on the other. That makes no goddamn sense, but they did.
It's a bit strange.
Yeah, but I'm kind of getting out of flat Earth. I got one or two more. I got to do Jeranism once more, and then I'm going on to the next thing that caught my interest.
Yeah, you got to cut yourself off of the 24/7.
Well, no, I just went back just basically to get material. I just was playing them, and got to piss them off too. No, I got to get. I'm going into creationism, intelligent design. I'm going to continue Tartaria, and I'm going to start doing a lot more medical work. I'm going to do. I'm going to do vaccinations in the anti-vax movement, and I'm probably going to do some more medical marijuana.
Oh hell, you can just stay on Jose's then if you want to get some really weird anti-vax talking points. Just get Lemon on it. He seems to think that squalene is in every vaccine. It's ludicrous.
Yeah. Well, no, I've heard them, and I've got the polio vaccine causes cancer, and then the measles catching wild measles cures cancer. I mean, you can't get any better than that.
Very why Benga's another one.
So not what that says at all.
Oh yeah,
and and in Samoa, even though they're calling it measles, it may be dengue fever because in the first 15 minutes of infection, both dengue and the measles look exactly the same. Did you know that?
The first 15 minutes? What are they talking about?
I mean, in the early infection, they look the same. For the first 24 hours, everything looks the same. They're sick.
Right.
All right.
Right.
You got to wait for them to have some sort of real symptoms before you can figure out what kind of sick they are.
Do they really think that we're not running tests to determine what the virus is? Like, are they just thinking we declare it measles and that's it?
Well, they're trying to claim that only about a third of the cases were actually tested, and the other 2/3 haven't been tested yet, or the results aren't back, so we don't really know it's measles.
We would know that if there's a decent laboratory, they would know that within, 6-7 hours?
Well, yeah, it's Samoa. I don't know what they've got there, man. I only got 200,000 people on the whole damn island. You never know. They may have to send it someplace. Who the hell knows? And
yeah, they may only have like 3 labs on the entire island.
Yeah, and the other thing about it is if everybody's waddling and quacking, they're probably all ducks. If you test the first 45 of the 100 people that are waddling and quacking, and they all turn out to be ducks, chances are the other 55 are too. Yeah, and that's why they're calling it a measles epidemic. They think it's measles. It's not dengue fever, which is very freaking different. It's not like they're bleeding from their eyes or anything. Yeah, the mindset behind all this stuff is just amazing sometimes listening to it, and no, I did this all on my own. And then they literally quote Suzanne Humphreys' talking points on measles. Well, yeah, only 400 people a year died of it. It's not that bad of a disease. Well, yeah, and 48,000 a year were hospitalized. 1962.
1962 in America alone. The global death rate is well above that.
It's 140,000 a year.
Come on, the CDC lies.
Well, no, but that's not that. It's not that bad. That's not that many deaths. So, it's not. And, of course, natural immunity is so much stronger than vaccine immunity. Well, yeah, it's not so much stronger. It's marginally stronger. And you also have the complication rate of measles, which includes 1 to 2 deaths per 1,000. And, 1 in 20 chance of having significant complications like, pneumonia and encephalitis, deafness.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the decrease in risk for Hodgkin's lymphoma for getting measles wildly versus otherwise is something like 1 out of every 100,000 new cases.
Yeah.
But finding that did give us a line of to look for using the measles virus as a package to potentially take on.
I don't think data analysis is part of their forte.
Well, the problem is that, the Mayo Clinic did indeed do a study on that, but it wasn't wild measles they gave these people. It was basically a mama jama dose of the vaccination. It was an attenuated, it's basically just a killer, a huge dose of the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't wild measles they had. And the investigator at Mayo, when told that this was being done in her name, had a freaking stroke.
I can imagine, actually.
I don't think they understand what attenuated means either.
You can't or they can't?
They can't.
Oh,
I know
okay.
what it
I just
means.
wanted to make sure. I was worried
No,
about
because Gary
you there for a
Wybenga
second.
was constantly saying in chat that, if you get the vaccination, you're going to be shedding the virus and people are going to get sick around you.
No, you don't.
Shit.
That's ridiculous.
Surprisingly enough,
Stop it.
There's a nice case study of a couple of doctors who actually got measles on top of the fact that they had been vaccinated. They wound up with a very mild form that didn't shed.
Cool. The thing about it is don't confuse your Google search for my medical degree, especially when it comes to interpreting studies. Because, quite frankly, simply because you can read a study doesn't mean you can understand a study, because you don't know the implications of what the study's demonstrating sometimes. Now, it's not that you can't figure it out, but the way you figure it out is have an open mind and actually kind of listen to the conclusions on the study and see if that makes sense, or if you have another possible explanation for what they found. It amazes me. It just does. I'm shocked and awed.
Cherry picking.
The problem that you run into is that flat Earth is dangerous in one way and one way only, and that is that it kind of drives a wedge between people and science and tries to set it up as an alternative universe that you have to make a choice for. It's more of an inconvenience than anything else. Anti-vax is physically dangerous and kills people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Flat Earth just makes you stupid.
Anti-vax makes people dead.
Yes.
The closest that round Earth versus globe Earth ever came to that was when, was it Poncho Pete tried to stab somebody for not dropping their trousers?
Poncho Pete. He's my screamo flat earther.
You smell something burning out here? Like plastic.
I can't smell it.
Huh.
Bob, you're hot mic.
I'm supposed to have that mic off.
We guessed that.
I was eating soup one night and didn't realize I had a hot mic while I was doing it. So the entire chat heard me eating my freaking soup.
Well, at least you weren't in the car, so you're having a piss. Just like Naked Gun.
At least you weren't seated at your desk having a piss like Anthony Riley.
Oh, you had to say that, didn't you?
Ryan.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make this too real.
Riley the retard.
You on vacation, Brian?
No, I've just got a really short rotation right now.
Nice.
They don't
We're really
get
slow at work, too.
vacations.
I technically got my vacation for Christmas and then wound up switching a shift so I could have New Year's, and it's worked out great. But I have to go in at 4:00 every morning. I'm done. Sign-offs are usually close to 2 in the afternoon. So until my my call day comes, I'm okay. And when that day comes, I'm going to be less okay.
Well, I don't know. It was a 50-50 chance whether or not it was going to be okay because you almost was in an apartment that burned down. I don't know if it worked out.
Docs are pretty spoiled. They're usually out of the unit by about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, what time is it? They're usually, don't they usually get there? Well, no, you're in neonate ICU. Never mind.
Yeah.
They
get there whenever they want to, but usually
I was
some
trying
of them
to
get there
impose
really
labor and
early.
delivery on you for some weird reason.
I gave that one up a long time ago.
Yeah.
The neo docs are spoiled rotten, and they know it.
Wait, Darkseid, Poncho Pete did stab someone? I thought he only threatened it.
Well, I
Actually
think he cut him. I don't think he did a very good job of stabbing him. But I think he certainly did injure him in some way.
I need to get my stories right then.
Well, the problem is it's, rumour in here, so I'm going by what you can actually hear of the recording.
Harwin seems like the kind of guy who would do something like that too.
Yeah, he's too much of a wimp.
But he's psycho. He goes crazy.
Dude, Arwen is immediately disqualified from Dumb Fuck of the Year simply for the reason that he's actually insane.
Pete, yep. Yeah, they're both off the rockers. But so is Pete. I don't think I've ever heard him in any hangouts that I've been with him ever talk in a normal voice. It's always screaming on the top of his lungs.
Yeah, but you hear him, he laughs at himself. It's almost like he's doing a skit or something like that.
Oh, it is. It's all bullshit.
I listened to him doing one. It was like on Trolls. He was just going crazy, and he's like laughing at himself, going crazy.
Is that the one with Jem Panda?
I think so. Yes.
Mm.
Oh yeah, that's classic.
Yeah.
At the top of his lungs, and I just laughed the whole way through it.
He almost like as he's going off, he knows how stupid he sounds, so he just laughs at himself.
And he always had this blow up globe that he used to use as his prop.
All right, I'm finally back.
Welcome.
I bet that's not the only blow up thing that he's got.
No more talking about Sean.
Oh, Sean's back. We can't say
listening
that.
the whole time.
There's some boring
paranoia.
And we didn't even get into Star Trek or anything.
God damn it.
No, we're waiting for him to come back, then we do it.
I hope
The topic of the day, Sean, besides tanks and robots and
whatever topic you guys want. I'm only live because I have time. I'm here, and if I don't, it feels weird.
Oh.
Doesn't always have to be a topic, Hannah. We can just be bullshitting.
It's true. We do that quite well.
Yes, we
So,
do.
did Jose
Terry's
decide
hanging out
to
here.
return to Flat Earth for 2020? I kind of missed that announcement.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be, doesn't it?
Well, from what I got from it, he said the open discussion. So basically, the title changed.
Yeah.
He believes in the flat Earth again.
No. He had his episode 200, and that was going to be the last time that he discussed the flat Earth, and that didn't last very long.
Well, he didn't say it was an end to. He didn't say it was an end to the discussion. He said it was an end to having
Open
it
discussion.
as a open discussion about flat Earth.
Well, it still sounds like it is, but it's not easy. I mean, for instance,
To be fair,
Well, having
to
a
be fair,
science
since it's
channel is
come
not
back-
easy either.
Yeah, since it's come back, he has managed to maintain it. So we're going to talk about this subject within flat Earth. So I mean, it's more focused. It doesn't just go off the rails every chance it gets anyone.
Well, here's the thing that you guys got to realize is that every topic discussed is worthy of talking about to understand it. It's just when you add that crap word in that it makes it fantasy again.
Yeah.
That's all. That's
But
realistic.
without
That's all
it-
it is.
Without it, you're not going to
I
get
just
the
noticed
opposite.
that, people like Arwen and Ranty and, some of the wackier people, the main, the only one I haven't seen is like Nathan Oakley over there.
Look at Nathan's show. It's gone to complete shit now that no Globers go there no more. That's exactly how. If you want to stop all this flat Earth crap, ignore it. Don't talk about it like it exists. And that's what it is. You guys have conversations with people like flat Earth is an option. It's not.
Yep.
You have no scientific basis behind it. That's basically all that's changed here. We can talk about every possible topic that it talks about in flat Earth without it being entertaining flat Earth. It's very simple. Name one topic that doesn't.
Robots.
Earth curvature.
No, I mean a flat Earth argument that doesn't actually result into just being actual science misunderstanding.
Oh yeah, true.
Everything. It's just they don't understand it, so they call it flat Earth. So the new word should be: if you're a flat earther, it just means you don't understand science.
You can make a whole channel just on common misunderstandings in science.
What do you think we're doing?
I think you get away with from all the photos. The photos crap is just a dead end.
Yeah.
They just never explain why this is happening. What the objective of having hiding the shape of the Earth is. There's never any point to it. It's just they're doing it. But why are they doing it? You know what I mean?
So many of them have reasons why. The most common one I find is they do it to hide God.
Well, see, that's the other thing. There are two different types that you guys talk to on a regular basis, because you got to understand there's the religious side and there's the not religious side of it. And if it's a religious thing, and this is why I don't ever really touch the topic. It's pretty simple. It's not the same. You don't have the same belief system as they do. You cannot try to argue rationality into something that you don't understand. And anyone who was religious at one point and stopped being religious, even you don't get it. You think you do, but you don't, because people who are devout and all that shit, there's no doubt in their minds. You have doubt. Therefore, your idea of how it works is different. It's a mute argument. You can't convince someone there is no God, and they can't convince, and vice versa. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, the religious ones that aren't really impressed with it all because they just, because that's what it comes down to. It's they have faith because it's the same way they can't prove God. They I don't even understand why. To me, it seems that they keep saying that it makes them more. It makes you more insignificant if you're only one person in like a greater universe. But to me, like I would argue that if you wanted to believe that way, you would be more special because God created this entire universe, and you're the only one. Instead of you living in a little snow globe that God decided to make.
Mm-hmm.
Hi there, Sean. How you doing?
What's up, George? How you doing, sir? Doing pretty good.
Pretty good. There was a big discussion on this on Gems yesterday afternoon, and it became obvious to me that this whole community, the FE Globe Earth community, they need each other. It's just a bunch of lonely people that use us as a social media to discuss. They have to have their constant arguments going back and forth. They're all sitting at the bottom of the hill with bald tires trying to get up a slippery hill. They just sit there and spin their wheels. It's just nonsense. I mean, but they need each other. They won't admit it. On Gems, they spent hours and hours talking about how ridiculous flat earth is. If they don't have flat earthers to argue with, then they talk about flat earthers. I mean, it's just nonsense. And hence I just told them I'm backing away from this stuff. I realize that all it is, it's a waste of time, and it's just dragging people down. Now, most of these people, they need a lot of them on that channel, Jim's channel. I mean, this is their life. They have no life. You see it, they're on there all the time.
I can name a few people in that server that, if I'm gonna say it, I don't even care. Chris, he has the Roman numerals. Chris,
right, and Curve, and
Curve does it too. So like when Debbie left, or if Chemo disappears, for instance, or Debbie and Chemo, when they disappear from the server, Chris goes crazy. Like literally, he goes through withdrawals without them. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Well, anyway, the whole thing is I'm backing away from all this stuff, and if people want to talk about something other than flat Earth and the nonsense that goes with it, it's fine by me. But I understand a lot of these people need it. This is their entertainment. This is their social circle. So be it. But they won't admit it. They need the flat Earthers. The Globers need the flat Earthers.
That was the thing I was just saying too, George, because again, every topic talked about isn't flat Earth. Every topic talked about is just not understanding science and you guys doing a lot of explaining of how it works. It's flat Earth is just the way to rewind it and bring it back to the first circle of an argument. It's to the point. I realized this real quick. I did it. They're not arguing that it's real. They just learned to have the argument in their favor. And all they have to do is deny you. That's it. They're not denying. They don't have to deny Einstein. Einstein said what he said, did what he did, and we all know what he did, blah, blah, blah. They're not denying him. They're denying what you say, what you think, what you believe, what you know, whatever. That's what people need to realize. The argument every one of them has is an argument that doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the Earth. It's the understanding of the science talked about. That's it.
Yeah. It's all cloaked under the topic of flat Earth or whatever. But anyway, I heard you say that, and I wholeheartedly back you up and support you on your statement. It's just that you need to realize that as long as you have people like Zanuck, Brenda, Rumpus, and that feel compelled to argue these points ad infinitum, these people need it. I mean, it's sad, but this is kind of their life. I mean, that it's become a part of them. They don't realize how ridiculous it is and how much time they're wasting arguing nonsense day after day.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's
I've been watching Jose in a couple of weeks now because it's just same. It's the same and the same.
That's where it just stopped.
And I only started in watching this stuff in like June, is when I started. So, and I'm already burned out. I can't imagine doing years of this.
Wow, yeah, I'm almost at 4 years now. Damn. But that was a different. But see, I went around for a long time thinking that I could not be the only one who cares enough to want to know what the fuck's going on. There's a few, I'd say under 10% of the people that are in this community are real flat earthers. I'm going to tell you that right now. Or really looking for truth, better to say. Again, it's a lot of people said it was going to be hard for me to not use it as my platform. It's actually insanely easy. If you don't have an explanation of reality for your reason, for your claim, then the conversation is done. And that's how that's how it's going to be here. And that's all there is. And yeah, I still go to all the other places. Just like George said, I'm part of a community. I know a lot of you people, and I talk to you guys out pretty much freaking every day. So yeah, it does become, a thing you do. And it's normal. That's not irrational. That's not crazy or nothing. If I didn't talk to the people on my panel right now for a month, it'd be weird as fuck. Yeah, because you're used to talking to them. The difference is that you entertain crap, you're going to get crap back. If you want to have a conversation with someone to see where they're coming from or get to a point, it's very simple to get to A to B. Very simple. Slick's a perfect example of it. You say what you got to say. Slick says what he has to say. You either going to be able to have the conversation or not. The first 5 minutes is the introduction. He's going to tell you what he feels, and you're going to tell you how you feel, and then you're going to try to convince him. That's pointless. No one gets convinced of shit like that. It's literally just, we're all different people. It's very simple to realize how it works. When I tell someone you're addicted to talking to Slick, and they talk to me like I'm crazy, I can give them every example. Every argument Slick has, I'll tell you what he's going to say next. It's the same fucking argument. You guys are the one entertaining it. Then that's what I don't want to do. I'm not going to entertain the circle.
I really do my best.
He always tries to get you with this yes or no statement. Yes or no. Like you're on a stand, you know what I mean? Yes or no.
But that's the thing. You guys get pulled into that. I heard Slick twice today say this, and I quote, and Slick's in the chat, he will not say anything that I'm saying is wrong right now. Ready? Slick says this, and everyone jumps off to a whole different page when he says, I experience flat and stationary. And I went over this. Motherfucker, you all experience fucking flat and stationary. You don't feel shit spinning. You don't look up and see it spinning. That's just the way it is. And that's where his argument is from. The second you leave that scale, his scale, you guys are talking past him. It's the same fucking shit every time. He said it twice today. So you're telling me when you look around, it's not flat and stationary? You don't experience that? And everyone took a shit and said, hell no, we all experience it spinning and it's curved. No, you don't. No, you don't. Nope. That's the one thing that brings people to it. The reality that is your view. You guys are arguing around his argument, and that's what keeps it going.
I've only talked to him once in my whole, that's it. Once. That's about enough almost.
It's just one of those things to where, in my experience, having been in the south and north and seeing the stars rotate different directions, I can make the inference that it's not flat.
But to do that, or better yet, to know that it is spinning, it takes multiple observations. I don't even know if you could do it that way, where you just stare at a star or a cluster of stars. And will you noticeably see it move, or will your brain kind of just dissolve?
Over the course of the night, over the course of the night, you can see when you come back out that the stars are in a different position.
No. But I mean, in one observation. So if I lay down and I just stare at the stars, does my brain, span it together so I don't notice it, or you know what I mean? But
I don't think you and I are not ADHD. I don't think either one of us has.
I am. I'm bad.
We have so much ADHD that there's no way we could possibly do that. We'd have to set up a camera.
Well, yeah. Well, that's
the problem
why
is
we would set up a camera.
Too slowly for you to be able to register it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's kind of what I was coming from on it.
Incremental change.
Yeah, but
my strategy is take them off their script.
Exactly. Well, that's what it is.
They weren't expecting.
Well, see, it's not even about whether they expect it or not. It's literally so when he says, I experience it stationary, flat and stationary. Again, it's the argument goes to: are you guys on the same point? Do you guys, are you guys coming from the same place to have this argument? You're not going to be able to have an argument with Slick anything beyond when you walk outside and you make that quick observation. That's where he's arguing from.
Oh yeah, I get that. I get that. His whole argument is: I go outside, I look at the horizon, it appears flat. I don't feel myself moving. That's all I'm going to do. That's
well.
I
Then
feel like that's
you want to know the only thing that can happen in that conversation. But that's not wrong.
You're wrong. Thank you.
Well, no. You're right in that scale. Do you want to talk past it? Stuff like that is what you got to say.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that he
What
won't
direction
accept.
would you?
The thing is that he won't accept anything above that because he hasn't done it personally, and he would just be hearing my story.
Okay,
and he's
so
just
then
going to resort
beyond
back
that,
to what he has.
Okay, beyond
Which is
that,
why I do my best not to talk to him.
Ask
Yeah,
him
at that
what
point.
direction you'd feel it.
Well, you wouldn't feel. You don't feel the spin.
Sure, you do.
How?
Things weigh more at the equator or at the poles.
Yeah, but that gets out
But
of
you
the
can't
scale
do
Slick
that.
is talking about. So you can't make Slick go to the poles and go to the equator and wait.
Well, no, the point is that, there is a direction you would feel the spin straight up. It's perpendicular to the axis of rotation. That's the direction you would feel the spin. They don't even understand what direction they don't understand the direction that you would feel the spin. If they sit down and say, well, I don't feel the spin, great. What direction would you feel it? Would you expect to feel it in if the Earth was rotating? They don't know. That's the only point I make with them.
Tom, I don't call little girls sir.
But in what's being said, if so, right now, if you were talking to Slick, you've talked past his argument.
No, perhaps.
I mean,
But then
that's
I
all
can
it is.
turn around and say things actually do weigh less, and we've measured it. I mean, people we know have measured.
Okay, but again, it's not that you're wrong. It's that you're talking past his argument. And once you punch past his arguments, he gets to loop it around again.
You're assuming I'm talking to Slick.
Yeah. Well, I 100%. That's what I'm almost exampling off of.
I don't talk to Slick. I don't
See, there
talk
you
to
go.
Slick any more than I talk to Travis.
And that is ultimately the only solution. Gravity. Oh, gravity is not real. It's density. Does density have a vector? Second, they don't understand how it doesn't have a vector. The conversation's done. Anything past that is the game begins. And again, like I've said this 1,000 times, without people to do that, they would have nothing to say. A conversation between me and Slick lasts all of 10, 15 minutes tops. Why? Because we get our points out. I don't talk past his argument. I know what he's doing, so I don't let it happen. Once I get to a point where we know we're going to do the loop, I stop.
Put a fishing sinker and a feather on your table. Will the feather move towards the sinker or away from it, based on density? Can't answer the question. We're done.
Do you think they're going to do it though?
Yeah, but we're done. If you can't answer that question, we're done.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're 100% right. I like those. Is that from Skyfly? Skyfly hooked it up. I'm gonna steal a few of those. Let me see. I'll show everyone. Skyfly was in here playing with logos. I like those. Oh, they're cool.
Pretty cool, aren't they?
Whatever he uses, I want it. Because he's got like a bunch of he can throw up memes that no one's seen and with like what do you call it, little graphics in them that no one uses.
Meme generator.
Yeah, but I've never seen the ones that he uses ones that blend perfectly and shit.
Yeah, but you can use the meme generator and Photoshop together.
I don't have Photoshop. I have Inkscape.
I don't have Photoshop either.
Yeah, I ain't that rich. I ain't got the money for that shit. Fuck that.
Get another job.
That's fourth one.
I use Scotch tape.
It kind of looks like the help services that you would give for a global communications phone network, like super tech support.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So kind of back to where we were at, because Jose kind of brought something up that I was actually going to say. But Bob, you were saying that you feel rotation, but the idea of feeling rotation is different from knowing why or how to tell if it's rotating, don't you think?
Well, you can feel rotation by looking at the change in weight.
But you wouldn't feel
And
that,
you
though.
know, well, you'd weigh less. You wouldn't notice it yourself, but you could measure it.
Well, then,
And it would have a direction. And it would have a direction.
But then
which would
you're
match
still.
that expected on a rotating Earth.
But you're not feeling it. You're explaining how you know.
Well, that's fine.
Okay, but no, you made the statement that you can feel it.
Well, you can't feel it because you weigh less. It doesn't mean that you are personally aware that you weigh a third of a percent less at the equator than you weigh at the poles.
I will bet you. I'll bet you your I'll bet you your oh god. I'll bet you your proprioceptors recognize it, even if you aren't capable of it.
You know, you're probably right. It would register it, but there's a threshold that kicks in before, they may register it, but they probably haven't met the threshold for awareness yet.
It'd actually be interesting to hook up somebody and see if they noticed if they weighed more or less accordingly.
You'd probably have an apparatus that would swing.
Yeah, I have no way of knowing whether or not it would be enough difference to actually register, or if I have a machine capable of doing that. But sounds interesting. May have to see about.
Sounds like a research project. Sounds like a thesis.
Might get a free trip to the cold out of it. Hell, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, why not?
All right, so look, have a good one.
I wonder if we'd have to have a really big person that would be able to do it. So the weight differential would be 3 or 4 pounds. I wonder if it's the absolute weight differential or just the relative weight differential.
Oh, and now we got Seeka Fun in the chat saying, Seeka Fun in the chat saying, "Wind is a force again."
Well, he said, very convenient. We don't feel a thing but the wind. We feel a lot more than just wind.
Why do you invite him on and we'll give him the 7 questions?
Oh, he won't answer one. He only has questions. He is one of the people that I realize isn't looking for truth.
Not worth talking to. You know what shocked the hell out of me the other day was that Chris Berry got like 2.5 or 3 of the questions right.
I think, see, Chris is weird. I don't know.
They're giving him my 7 questions. He wouldn't get any of them right.
The thing is but Chris concedes to everything almost. Like, just observations. If you discuss a observation, he'll concede to it. The second you put that observation into an evidence for how we know where we live is when he denies it. That's the weird part.
That actually happened earlier today on Jose's.
Chris
was shot, and he was perfectly fine with it up until you saw the curve of the Earth, and then he had a bunch of problems.
Yeah, that's exactly what Travis did. The only difference is Travis went all fucking bitch-made, girly, fucking whatever the hell you want to call it on about it. Started crying. Now he acts like I did something to him. But I said all I had to say about that yesterday. So if you guys missed that beginning of yesterday's stream, I did my Travis rant.
No, I get that. It was well deserved after his weird reinterpretation of events.
Yeah, everything about it, like it's just funny when you hear someone say someone is dishonest as they are being dishonest, like Seek and Find.
Exactly.
It was great. Lewis came on one of my panels once, and me and Lewis were talking to Seek and Find. Seek and Find did an upload about us being intellectually dishonest as he was being intellectually dishonest. Did I, Tony? Did he see yesterday's? That'd be awesome. I hope he's upset again. Because the only reason he has to be upset is because his ego got crushed. And the best part is I did it so respectfully, and he turned it to a dick situation, so I became a dick. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I told you, I thought we were cool, and then once I started getting all the feedbacks from the background about my apology being shit and him lying about how shit went down, yeah, nah. Yeah, but Toady, watch it. First 5-10 minutes, I even play what Travis said and what I was responding to. So, yeah, he just needs to pull that mangina out, or that tampon out of his mangina, and move on.
Hey. Stop
What?
that.
What?
Don't worry, it'll. Oh, never mind.
You guys keep using women as a pejorative.
I don't know what pejorative means.
Of course not.
Travis got sand in his coochie. Is that what you're saying, Sean?
I know a lot of tough women, so it's just not a very good one. You'll have to come up with something different.
I think I know what pejorative means now.
Well, Sean learned something today. I mean,
I learned
it's a good day.
Sometimes. We'll see if I remember. That's the key.
We'll put it to you this way: if women were like clams, Travis would have made a pearl.
Probably.
Lots of sand.
Yeah, Travis and Chris are just a couple of ankle biters. Give them a good whack, they go chew on something else.
There you go. That's perfect.
I can just see it now. Chris gets on, and then he we go in and do it, and then he leaves, and he goes over to Quantum Eraser's server, and he's like, "I did it, boss! I got him! I said I debunked him, boss! Did you see it? Did you see it?" That's what I imagine how it works. But then again, I like Chris. Chris is cool.
Barry?
He can find and
Barry?
Yeah, I like Chris.
He wears me out.
Okay, but of all, pretty much of all the ones that I know of, he's probably does the most experiments, whether he understands what he's actually doing. But he at least tries.
He will without a doubt try an experiment over and over again until he breaks it the wrong way, until it happens. Point in case, the albedo experiment. He kept using more and more reflective surfaces until he got it to work, instead of using one that would have been the same as a forest.
You have seen his Cavendish experiment, haven't you?
Oh, God. Thank God he broke that the first time. Could you imagine if that had worked and he would have had to try it again and broken it harder?
And look at that and tell me he tries hard.
Kind of does. Like I said, if you see, I see a lot of the debunk out the gate argument doesn't really work when you're talking to Chris or obviously Travis, but I've shown that if you just play the what we see game, see, even Seek and Find fell for it. You have to make an understanding of what the observation is first. We both see the ocean, yes. We both see the boat, yes. We both see the island, yes. We don't see any ocean behind it, yes. Okay, that's clear. We know where we're at. Once you start doing those things like I was doing with Travis, this is a refraction line. This is the miraging here. This is miraging here. This is what we're seeing here. All those. Once you concede to all of that, and you put all the pieces together, you either gotta know what reality is or lie and say it's not that way. Nuh-uh. And once you get to that point, like I said, once you get to that point, then you see who really is intellectually dishonest. Seek and Find. It's a pretty simple game. And once I realized that game, I was like, no, it's not for me. That's what pissed me off the most. Realizing that I wasn't making good arguments, I was just making stupid arguments that worked.
Oh, speaking of things that are somewhat science related, up here in Northwest Arkansas, they're actually putting in a science center along with an observatory and a planetarium just up the street from me. It's gonna include a nighttime set of telescopes and a solar scope. Just thought I'd share that around.
My bad. I was typing in the chat.
That's fine.
I was talking to Tony. You're funny, seek and find. I trust me. I am as honest with myself as possibly gets. The question is, are you? Now you go look in the mirror and ask yourself that same question. Are you honest with yourself? And then when you realize you're not, give yourself a great big hug and come to the other side of truth. You know, real truth. That was my Davros impression.
Tony, I would love to talk about out of place artifacts. That's one of my favorite things in history.
Absolutely. Yeah, Tony, anytime you want, man. Tomorrow, I'm free, nothing going on. Next day, any day.
By the way, is NASA building that planetarium?
I think they have a grant involved with it, but I think it's mostly...
or are they just programming the planetarium to make it look like the
I don't know what
just
they're doing
curious.
in that aspect. Actually, I should probably see who's funding it. I'll bet you it's the Walton Arts Center that's partially funding it.
I got a TV.
I want to go to a planetarium. Hot mic.
A local nonprofit is currently fundraising from the majority of Fortune 500 companies in the northwest portion of the state. Okay, yeah, so it's going to be a lot of Tyson, a lot of Walmart, a lot of Clorox.
Well, at least it'll be clean and disinfected.
Well, deep fried chicken and make sure the kitchens are clean afterwards. Who's the living remaining daughter? Is it Alice? This would be right up Alice's alley. I don't think Bud would be into this.
My bad. I'm trying to get used to the whole YouTube live control panel thing.
He's looking at porn.
Me? No, I would never do that. OBS is a finicky bitch. One thing you're talking about, something next thing you know, you got tits on your screen, and you're fucking porn bomb yourself. That's not a good idea.
That's why I went out and got this little TV set. This is going to be my second monitor screen. Because OBS on Macs does not really do window capture well. You can do display capture, but not window capture without those flickers.
Yeah.
But if you do a display capture,
that'll
work.
See, I don't have a Mac. Does it have a option to turn off your hardware?
Not really.
Because if you turn,
kind of rough.
Okay, like on mine, before what would happen is if I went to Windows screen, it would just show a black screen, and then once I turned off my hardware option, it was able to start window capturing. Bob, you're loud. Hot mic.
Sorry, but I was just checking that actually. Yeah, when they went to Catalina, it really screwed everything up bad because it went from 32-bit to mandatory 64-bit.
Okay, I see. Yeah, so you get the crashing and sit right now, huh? That was happening to mine.
OBS wouldn't start unless you ran it through terminal. It was a real pain in the ass. They finally fixed it after about a month.
Yeah, it was doing that for a long time. Shit, mine. If I don't start it with my admin, then it'll run for like 5 minutes and then shut itself off. And I was told it's in my what do you call it, the virus thing, majigger, the detects viruses and all that shit. I guess because OBS is open source, anything once you start getting the scripts and everything, it gets scared of everything. So I have to run everything on admin now. That one's badass, Skyfly. I like that one.
Pokemon Ball.
What time is it? Kind of keep my eye on the phone. I'm expecting another phone call, so my apologies. But I may end up ending this pretty soon. It didn't seem like I've been going for 2.5 hours. Shit. You guys make it easy.
Well, it seems like it's just been so much longer.
God, has this really been running for 2 hours?
Yep, 2.5 hours.
Crazy.
And I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna cut this one dead because I got some things I still gotta take care of.
You sure we can talk about Dungeons and Dragons?
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and mute.
Oh God, no, please.
And Fems.
Energize.
And
Sean and I are friends.
while writing with fountain pens while eating pineapple pizza.
Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
You guys are all fired. All of you except for Hannah. And it's only because I momentarily have short-term memory loss to the fact that she actually does like pineapple pizza.
Oh,
yeah, but I won't make you eat it.
Thank you.
Oh, do we have time for one joke that's really off color?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Here goes a Brian joke. Go ahead, Brian. Oh, yeah, wait. Davros, even though you left, don't think I forgot. Next time.
Happy session, Davros.
Yep.
This is more of a story than a joke, although it caught me off guard. We were with I guess I'm calling my brother-in-law now, and he ordered a pineapple and jalapeno pizza. Showed up to the house, and he goes, "Where's the Pearl Harbor?" I'm like, "What the hell are you talking about?" It's like, "What? It's a pineapple pizza. It's a Hawaiian pizza with Japs on it." And it's like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!"
And with that, people,
oh, Brian, you are a doctor.
Jalapenos. Jalapenos. Honey.
All right, guys, I'm going to mute this. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry Brian did that to us. I'm so sorry. I allowed it. I knew it was going to happen, and it just happened. Yeah, so that was a fun one. Just get to hang out and BS sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be serious. Toady, yeah, definitely go ahead and send me a message when we can do that, because I definitely want to get you on and we'll just do a solo. And like you said, actually get some information out there rather than just playing the gossip game like we are today. But yeah, definitely DM me or I'll DM you. But yeah, we'll definitely get that going. And with that said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get the hell out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.